Harry S. Truman's time in office was a few generations ago, but a current South Dakota college student is carrying on his legacy. The University of South Dakota recently announced Josh Sorbe as a 2019 Truman Scholar. Sorbe is the sole student chosen from South Dakota this year.
The Truman Scholarship was established in 1975 as a federal memorial to President Truman. It's a highly competitive award and viewed as one of the premier graduate fellowships in the United States for those pursuing careers in public service.
In Ion Kettleland, Brady Mallory sits down with Sorbe to talk about the honor and what he wants to do with it.
Coffee.
First impressions are important. 21-year-old Josh Sorbe knows this to be true.
Usually the first thing I say is, I'm Josh, I'm a junior at USD.
Okay, there's a lot more to say about Sorbe. He's president of USD's Student Government Association, and he dove right into being a star athlete on the swim team.
Well, I was terrible at every other sport, so swimming was kind of trying to find my role.
As if that weren't enough, Sorbe has found out about a new role that sets the stage for the rest of his life. Recently, he thought he was just having a meeting with his professor, Sarah Hirschwitmus. He was wrong.
And lying to Josh over the weekend because several of us knew and couldn't tell him. And so, yeah, it was fun. It was a great reveal.
If you don't believe it, see for yourself.
And you were awarded the Truman Scholarship.
Out of 840 candidates, only 62 college juniors can call themselves a Truman Scholar this year. After his surprise, Sorbe FaceTimed his mom to tell her he's one of them.
Thank you. It's an incredible honor. It's the most prestigious scholarship for those looking to go into public service, and public service was something that I've known I want to do my whole life. And being able to have that reassurance to say you're on the right path was very honorable.
Sorbe's success is having a big effect on everyone, from his friends to his younger brother.
And kind of being from South Dakota, we get kind of like, oh, you're just from South Dakota, you really can't do it, like you don't have all these experiences, but really, like if he can do it, then why can't someone else from South Dakota do it?
It definitely pushes me to be a lot better and like push myself to do things that I normally wouldn't do, but he kind of like carves a path for me, and so I have sort of footsteps to follow. It doesn't surprise me. Josh has always been like a hard worker.
Attention and accolades aren't why Sorbe works so hard.
Josh has just been the next in the line of those who really have an interest in serving and have the capacity to make some big change.
The political science and economics major wants to make those changes in the classroom. After he's done with his education, he wants to teach.
Middle school is a very formative time of your life where you're trying to find your identity, and kids can be mean to each other. And I want to be that teacher that says that we respect tolerance and we respect each other in my classroom.
Those are lessons Sorbe learned from some of the other classrooms he's been in. And he says not all of them were pleasant.
Growing up gay in South Dakota is not easy. I think I take a lot of the bullying and a lot of the disrespect that I got throughout elementary and middle school and high school, and I want to make sure that that doesn't happen in the school that I'm at.
First impressions are important, and Sorbe has made many of them.
Everybody sort of knows Josh, and not just because of his Student Government Association work, but because he's around campus in Vermillion, and people just relate to him because he makes a point of that.
However, no matter how many times Sorbe introduces himself, he likely won't say a word that gives you the full story.
My parents always told me that you shouldn't have to tell people that you're great. They should be able to think that you're great without you telling them.
Instead, Truman Scholar Josh Sorbe will show everyone by making a lasting impression on the world.
No. Yes, come on.
With Ion Kettleland, I'm Brady Mallory.
Sorbe begins his senior year at USD in the fall and says he wants to get his master's outside of South Dakota. However, he says he eventually wants to come back to teach in his home state.
Well, congrats.